very helpful. So we'll have some good tips too also for those of you who are experts, but we'll have the newest updated information.
Yeah, some of the things we just learned on Friday, so there's not much time for that knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah. Kenny went on Friday. He was there the whole time. We were texting back and forth a lot, and I know a lot of us were following also on Facebook. So we collected a lot of data. He collected a lot of data, and then we compiled it all together for you. Okay. So we are going to get started, and please be courteous to each other, and you know, continue to ask questions as we go along here.
I just want your slides to be larger when you use them.
What's that?
I want your slides to be larger. There's lots of comments that the slides aren't large enough, they can't read them.
Oh, listen, okay, so here's the thing about the slides. They will be available to you after the webinar. We will have a link. We'll even post it, and we'll actually email all of you. You can see that we can email you. So after the event, I will email you a shared link in Google, and you guys can all view these after. Okay. So we are going to get started. Kenny, if you can please read this off. I just have to get to Mouse to Your House because they're helping us with some backside stuff.
All right, well, we're going to cover the party logistics, things like transportation, park admission, getting in and out of the park, security, things like that. Then we'll talk about the entertainment that's taking place inside the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the Hocus Pocus show, Boo-to-You, who's in the Boo-to-You this year, the fireworks show, which is really awesome because it's like 180 degrees around you. There's fireworks going off. The Cadaver Dans were performing in Frontierland, so we'll discuss those kind of things. And then, of course, a lot of you are here because you're like, where's this character? Where's that character? Who's popular? Who isn't? Where should I go? What should I wait for? So we'll talk about that with the characters. I actually went to every candy stop in one night. Collected 8 pounds of candy. So we'll talk about the candy stops, which ones are the best bang for your buck, how you get the most candy in the shortest amount of time. We'll talk about the treats. I did some of the treats, the ones that were for sale, some of the little Haunted Mansion dessert things.
We have pictures.
Some of those. And the candy corn ice cream. Yeah, okay. So we'll get there too. But those are kind of our header topics. Oh, and the magic shots. We'll talk about those too. So here we go.
All right. So, you know what I can do to make, I figured out a way to make the slides bigger. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I figured it out. See what happens when you just get the parrot talking for a little while.
Ta-da!
Yay! Did that work?
Big, giant...
All right, do you guys feel better about this? Are you excited about this?
But can you see my dimple? What about my dimple?
Dimple. Oh golly! This
it's better. Wait, but no one's told me if you can see me or not.
What? Yes.
We offended. They're like, it's better, but I'm like, can you see me though?
We know you have that lovely.
Okay, I'm messing around too much. Right.
All right, arrival and departure, Kenny. So when you got there, what was the whole scene like?
Okay, so I came in about 3:30 so I could get the experience from the guest that doesn't have a day ticket at the Magic Kingdom. And when I arrived, it was a bit confusing as to where you were supposed to go, and they found that people were lining up on both sides of the ticket areas trying to get in, and then it became a real mass of people. And around 3:52, they finally started letting guests into the park with only the Mickey's Not So Scary ticket, which is supposed to be on the right-hand side. So as you're looking at the park, it's supposed to be on your right. And then, so at 3:52, they started letting in those guests. You make your way through the town square area, and then you'll turn right at the hat shop. And when you get to the hat shop, there'll be an open gate. You'll walk through that open gate, and you'll find that now they have these big blow-ups, and they have statues, and they have candy giveaway areas, the bags, the maps. All that stuff is on that back pathway that goes up toward Tomorrowland, and that's kind of your check-in area. And, of course, security is dependent on where you came in by bus or if you came in by car. If you came in by bus, your security is at the Magic Kingdom. If you come in by car, it's going to be at the Ticket and Transportation Center, Transportation and Ticket Center. I always get that backwards. It's the TTC, so anyway, whatever that thing. I park there a lot, but so we go there.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's a picture where those guys, I have the 2 cast members standing with the bucket. You can see the castle behind them. That's the pathway that Kenny was just talking about that you can go to. Okay, so entertainment. Here we go.
All right, so the Hocus Pocus show is the same as it was the last couple of years. There was no difference. There was a lot of people on web forums starting all kinds of silly rumors saying that descendants were supposed to join the Boo-to-You parade.
Oh, yeah.
All nonsense. There were no descendants in the Boo-to-You, just the parents, right? Just the villain parents. That's the only ones that were there.
At first I paused for a minute. I was like, what do you mean the parent? Oh, right.
Well, I mean, they're right. The descendants came from the parents. So, yeah, just the regular villains that are always there. I didn't really notice any major changes at all. It did rain some, but it didn't. There's no difference. So it was pretty much the same parade. Cadaver Dans were out. They're always in Frontierland, between Frontierland and Liberty Square, usually closer to Country Bear Jamboree. They like to come out right before the parade, but the schedule's on Character Locator, so you can add that to your plan. But the cadavers are there. The madams, as I call them, Madam Carlotta and Madam Renata, I hope I got it right, were at Haunted Mansion, as they usually are. They sit up in a chair, and they speak to you and act silly. So they were there. Then they kept trading out so that there was someone there. Huh?
Do they rotate, or do they come out together?
No, they rotate. You'll see one leave, and then shortly after, the other will arrive, and they'll tell you when they first start, I'm Madam Carlotta or I'm Madam Renata. They actually, if you catch them when they're rotating off stage, oftentimes they're willing to stop for a photo.
Oh,
that's kind of a neat thing. And then, of course, the is Happy Hallowishes. I walked right up on Main Street. I was maybe 4 feet from the pinnacle point on Main Street, which is between Casey Corner and the Walt and Mickey statue. And I walked up maybe 10 or 15 minutes before at the most. I had no problem finding space.
Oh, for the Hallowishes.
Yeah, for Happy Hallowishes.
Got it. Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny. I was asking about the madams. When you said that we could possibly get a picture with them, where would we stand, when they turn over or whatever? Where do they go off?
Haunted Mansion exit. They'll come in from the Haunted Mansion exit. And so, but when they're going on stage, they usually won't stop. But when they're coming off stage, oftentimes they will.
So we would stand by the exit, hopefully, to get them. Okay. Got it. Sorry. Perfect. All right, so we hit all these. Yeah, the cadavers are great. I can't get enough of those guys.
Someone asked about the Sorcerer card. We didn't put that in our notes, so I'll answer that really quickly. You can pick that up pretty much any time throughout the night. I picked mine up as I was doing magic shots on Main Street, which was I did it after Hallowishes. So I had no problem. They were just standing there in front of the fire station handing them out.
All right, cool. And they do mark your band with a marker.
Yeah, there were a little S on the inside of my wristband that you get for the party.
Okay. All right. So now on to characters. One of the reasons why we're all here. And go ahead.
I'd say boom shakalaka.
All right, well, tell us about all the special characters. Of course, everybody does want to know, who's dressed up and who isn't. And I think you were saying that Goofy maybe isn't dressed in his Barnstormer gear this year.
That's correct. Goofy this year, he's a pirate. Even though he's standing in front of Barnstormer, it seems to make more sense to put him in Adventureland to me, but he's standing in front of the Barnstormer wearing a pirate costume. Mickey and Minnie, Daisy, they're all in the same costumes. The Seven Dwarfs, Cruella. This year they added Eric. This is his first Halloween party. Eric is now meeting with Ariel. Ariel wears her seafoam green dress. She's no longer in fins during the party. She's outdoors at the market area. Belle and Gaston are together again this year. You'll find the Pooh characters just like the photo that you have there. They're dressed the same. Jack and Sally are back again. I guess the biggest addition this year is Moana, which was the one that everyone was excited about. And it was pretty funny because when I went to Adventureland to check on the line, around 5 o'clock, I already saw people lined up. And then as I walked past, people were like, hey, Kitty! I'm like, I guess a lot of them read my blog and knew that she was coming because of that, I suppose. So
5 o'clock for Moana?
Yeah, they were lining up at 5 p.m. And she finally showed up around 6:45.
Wow. A lot of people wanted to meet Moana. I don't know. Jack and Sally, to me, that's just a personal opinion. I mean, it's a Halloween party, so I'm all about it.
I guess a
All
lot
right,
of
so
people want to meet Moana, and the little girls especially that are Moana fans, makes it kind of fun for them.
I did see some pictures of like girls dressed up like Moana giving them hugs. It's so cute. Okay, now we have a free gift for everybody who's here. You will get a link to this later. If you go to mouseclass.com/order, Mouse to Your House, who helped us with our slides, is offering 10% discount coupon for you to download for free. When you go over there, you'll see it. And what it is it's 10% off discount for any order. Who's Mouse to Your House? What they do is they do gift packages sent to your Disney hotel. So they hand deliver them. They do a lot of fun live feeds on their Facebook from the new mini cars, right, Kenny? Are they called mini cars? Is that the official name for it?
The minivans.
Minivans. Okay, yeah, they've been doing a lot of fun live shots from the minivans, and you know, they'll deliver treats and stuff to your room. So when you go to Disney and you stay at your resort, if you want to get a Halloween themed package put together, they're offering a 10% plus free delivery. So, and their packages are so cute. So that is the free gift to everyone who's registered today. So even for those who aren't with us live, and if they couldn't make it live, that's okay. We'll share this gift with everyone who's registered with us. So I thought that was really nice. And they put these slides together because Kenny and I we got jammed up. Right, Kenny?
You had a lot going on. You guys threw a birthday party for me yesterday. Yes.
Kenny still threw a surprise 50th birthday party.
That was pretty good.
We went with me and my husband and kids went. It was fun. It was really a good time. The kids still have all the pirate gear this morning. My daughter had on her pink eye patch that you guys gave her, and the beads and coins.
It was fun.
Okay. So, all right, entertainment, Kenny.
Okay, we discussed a little bit about that already. We talked about the shows that were going on. Some people want to know, like, when should I get in line for this character, or how long is the wait for that character? I'm adding all of that stuff to the listings for every character on Character Locator, so you'll know when's the best time to get in line for them. You'll know how long the lines usually run for each character. So, like, if you want to get in line for Moana, this is one opportunity to do it, or if you want to get in Moana for a different opportunity. So that's it. And then also all of the touring plans that are included on Character Locator already have formatted things for which things go in what order. So, you know, I'm going to have time on a webinar to build everyone's custom plan for them. But as a part of what we're doing today, if you order the bundle that we're offering today, you're actually, one of the options is to get a custom plan from me. So I'll build it for you with just the things that you're looking for. Lisa, back to you.
I'm coming. Okay. Speaking of which, we also have 3 products that we are selling today. Now, I know some of you may say, oh, they're selling things again. But the truth is we do put a lot of money and time into bringing this to you live. But for those of you who are interested, we put together a workbook and guide. And with that workbook and guide, that's our orange product. The orange product is the workbook and guide plus a 1-year subscription to Character Locator. And if you already have a subscription, that's going to include then a renewal for a Character Locator. So the digital guide and workbook, we have had a lot of, when you go to the mouseclass.com/order, you can see we have reviews from people who have reviewed our product from last year who are really happy with it. So you can go check that out. What is a little more interesting on this board here, the purple is for Kenny to do a personal touring plan. So the purple one will be where Kenny, you'll get the workbook and guide. Kenny will do your own personal touring plan for your Halloween party, and you'll also get the Character Locator. But the best one is at the top. If you want Kenny to tour with you, well, it's pillage, right?
We're pirates.
I'm sorry. I can't get used to this. I really need my eye patch. Knowledge with Kenny the Pirate at your Halloween party. How crazy is that? He will stay with you through midnight. Right, Kenny?
12:20 even. I'll even go all the way to 12:20.
12:20. You'll be home by what, 1:30?
Yeah, it takes me 1:30 to get home.
Yeah, with traffic. But yes, you can have Kenny come with you to the party. Pillage with you at the party, I should say. Okay, so anyway, that will be on that mouseclass.com/order. And you can check that out at your own convenience. And there's a giveaway. Anyone who purchases any one of our products, orange, black, or purple, will be put in a drawing for a giveaway. And this giveaway is from Mouse to Your House. And they put together this cute little gift that will be shipped to you. And it's the plate, the Minnie Mouse doll, and the mouse ears, Madame Leota mouse ears. Those are really cool. Actually, I love that the musical instruments are on the ears.
That's
I really
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the musical instruments is what really gets me on that one, actually. But yeah, this is a great little package that they put together. I'm telling you, they were so helpful with everything. Okay, now on to what we really want to know about is the candy. I don't know why. Why does the candy excite us so much?
Well, I mean, to walk away with 8 pounds of candy per person is not too bad. You go home with a family of 4 with 32 pounds of candy, so I guess that's not too awful. When you first, they're going to give you one of those treat bags. If you can see it on the screen there, it says M&Ms and goodness knows and all that inside of it. Let me just pull up my little thing here. I can tell you exactly what was inside of mine. I had candy. I had inside the goodie bag that they give you when you first come through the area, first check in and get your wristband. Mine had the orange Skittles, red Skittles, two small bags of M&Ms, a Snickers Crisper, a Three Musketeers, a mini Milky Way Mini, a Dove bar, and a Goodness Knows granola bar. So there were 9 items inside of that little bag when they first did that. And now part of what I was doing at the initial party was to check and make sure where all the characters were, what costumes they were wearing, you know, their coming and goings, or when they were, because a lot of those things aren't listed on my Disney Experience. So I wanted to do that kind of stuff, but I also decided that I would trick or treat every candy stop, which I've never done before, to see which candy stops would be the best. I ended up with 8 pounds of candy, which counted to a total piece count of 180. So I had 180 pieces of candy and filled the bags. So can you switch from that view back to the one with just us? And I'll show them the bag.
Yes. Hold on. All right.
Switchy, switchy, switchy. How can you bring that much candy on a plane?
I'm not that good, Kenny. I'll mess it all up. I'm sorry. We'll switch it after at the end. We'll show you the candy at the end.
All right.
Guys,
I'm ruining everything, guys. It's not my fault, okay? I'm not the tech person. Yeah. How would you get on a plane? What we used to do when we flew here before we moved here was we brought an extra duffel bag that we could use as a carry-on, and that carry-on was filled with tons of candy. So that's the easiest way. Just bring one extra rolling duffel bag and as a carry-on, and then you just stuff all your candy inside of that. Now, I can't eat all this candy because I've lost 12 pounds in the last 2 months. So I distributed it out to 4 people, and I still have a really large bag of candy left. But yeah, you're going to find things like M&Ms. I'll just kind of review the list with you really quickly.
Yeah. No, because we want to know. I want to know about the candy, like the good chocolate. Was it melted, by the way, because it was really hot out? I'm very curious of that, too.
No, what I found was that they seemed to have brought the candy out from somewhere that was air conditioned, and they were refreshing it really often. So none of my candy was melted or that weird grayness to get some chocolate. So they were actually all in good condition.
Yeah, that weird grayness.
They had Milky Way Minis, Snicker Minis, Little Mini Dove Bars, Lifesaver Gummies, M&M Plain, M&M Peanut Butter, M&M Pretzel, M&M Peanut, Red Skittles, Orange Skittles, Starburst Halloween, Starburst Original, Twix, Three Musketeers, Snickers Fun Bars, Snickers Peanut Butter, and Snickers Crispers. So that was...
I love Snickers Crispers.
Yeah, there was a load. I didn't see any Reese's Pieces. I didn't see those. Someone asked about Reese's. There weren't any Reese's Pieces because M&M's, I guess, is a competitor of theirs. So They had 180 pieces of candy, and it was 8 pounds. And all I did was I went to each stop one time, and then I went back to the Storybook Circus one time on one of the two sides, because what I found was most of the candy trail only have one stop now. Like Splash Mountain used to be terrific if you were an old timer because it had 3 or 4 stops. Well, now it's one. So what I did was on the character locator map that's specific for the party, I marked it for you 1, 2, 3, however many stops are on that, so that you can know exactly how many stops. The best place to go is Storybook Circus tent because there's 3 stops, there's 2 sides, so you can go through, come back around, get back in line again, and go through the other side. When I got there around 9 p.m., there was no one in line. I literally walked up to each of the 3 stops and collected candy. So that was the best location, is Storybook Circus by far. And then I believe there's 1 or 2 other locations marked on the map that have a 2 on it. Almost all the rest are just 1 stop. But literally, you could just repeat Storybook Circus 2 times, and you probably have a full bag of candy. I found that early in the party, the lines for the candy were crazy. Like, you could wait 10 minutes, 12 minutes for 3 pieces of candy. But then later on in the party, they were giving away handfuls of candy. Like, I went to Carousel of Progress, and there was no one in line later in the party. And the guy's like, want me to fill the bag for you? So I had no wait for a half a bag of candy, or I had a 10-minute wait early in the party for 3 pieces of candy.
What time did you want to fill your bag? Was it like 11, or was it like closer to midnight?
Yeah, it was probably around 11, somewhere in that range, whenever they started offering to just give. And everywhere I went from that point on were all just handfuls. They were just like the crane, you know, like the claw, the claw. So, and that was always been our case for us. When we went to parties as a family years past, anytime we went trick-or-treating early, they were really chintzy, but later in the party, they seemed to be willing to give away candy. So don't bother using your early time for trick-or-treating. It's a waste of your time.
Yeah, and I agree with the Barnstormer thing. I think a great thing is, too, like if you're waiting for, you know, the 7 Dwarfs or something, or even after you meet the, you know, Donald, Daisy, and Minnie Mouse, you could just, like you said, just hop right into the, you know, the Silly Sideshow there. Mm-hmm. It was perfect. We did it twice, all 4 of us. We had so much candy. I had 40 quarts of candy, 40 quart size clear containers after 2 parties.
Yeah, it doesn't take long when you go to the 3-stop or the 2-stop location. And like I just said, for those who may have just joined, all of those locations are marked with a 1, 2, or 3 on my character locator map, along with all the characters, very detailed lines, names. I mean, you can find everything really easily on my map. Whereas if you look at Disney's, it's just a bunch of little icons. They don't tell you where anything is. Right.
Yeah. They don't even tell you how many stops.
They have most of them marked. I noticed that Stitch was not marked on their map, the Stitch's Great Escape, but they did have one. Oh, and then allergy treats. We didn't discuss the allergy treats. So you can go into, there's a couple of locations. There's one at the Heritage House, which is in Liberty Square, and the other one is in the Town Square Theater in Town Square. You can take your little token and go in, and when I spoke to the ladies, they said you don't even need the token. If you just want to come in, and we'll help you get all the treats that you need. They have things like gummy bears, Smarties, jelly beans. They have little toys if your child doesn't want any kind of edible item. But they're all they're allergy friendly. They even have allergy friendly bags that are teal colored, and you can ask for that, so that while you're trick-or-treating, the person will know when they see the bag to give you those tokens. And then you just take the tokens and have them switched out. So I had 1 token, which is in the picture there. And the really sweet lady there in the photo, she was like, well, how many items do you want? I'm like, how many can I get? She said, well, I don't know. How many do you want? I said, well, just give me several. So I got like the jelly beans and the gummy bears and some Smarties, and I gave the Smarties to Debbie because she's got braces and she can't eat gummy bears. So.
Oh, that's sweet. See, there's another reason for allergy-free candy. Braces.
Give it to Debbie.
Oh, these are the treats we want to talk about.
All right, well, let's start with the one on my left, which is the ice cream cone. I will just tell you right now, It's vanilla. It's not candy corn ice cream. They keep telling everyone this stuff is candy corn ice cream, but it's just vanilla. And they didn't even put candy corns in the bottom this year. They just filled it with this orange and white ice cream and handed it to me, and I was so excited. I even made a video. I need to put it on my Facebook page tonight, so I'll upload that to my Facebook page. I made a video because I was so excited about wanting to eat candy corn ice cream. Finally, I was like, yay, it'll be candy corn, yay! And because I thought they'd get it right this year, and then realized it's the same vanilla ice cream they gave me last year. I was so disappointed. So, in addition to that, they have a whole bunch of these Haunted Mansion themed desserts, which are almost too pretty to eat because the art on the chocolate piece on the top just looks terrific. Like you can see the woman there and the man. I don't really know why they sell treats that are a man in his underwear, but anyway. Weirdly enough, the guy in his underwear treat tasted better than the other one, in my opinion. The strawberry compote was good, but it wasn't like amazing. And I don't know where Lisa went. Hello, Lisa? Can everybody hear me? Am I still here? Oh, okay. She's scaring me because she's disappeared. All right, I just want to make sure she's not on my screen anymore, so that kind of scared me.
I can see Mickey.
You're just a logo. You're still waiting for Mouse Class to reconnect. So the little Haunted Mansion treats are about, yay big. They're little bitty tiny graves, I guess. They were pretty good. I can enjoy them. The one at Aloha Isle was my favorite. The Worms and Dirt is pretty good. It's kind of a chocolate pudding filling on the inside. No, Lisa looks like she's totally gone now. I don't know where she left me. It's all me now, guys. Hey, you're stuck with a pirate. So yeah, the PowerPoint's gone. She says she'll be back in a moment, I guess. So I don't know where she went. But everybody can see me and hear me, right? All I see is you. Can hear me? Yes? Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. I don't know where Lisa disappeared to. Hopefully she'll come back really soon. So we were talking about the treats. Let me bring up that page so that I can make sure I'm on the same page with you guys. Sorry about that. Technical things, they do happen to us while we're moving along here, don't they? All right, so the Worms and Dirt, that was a good snack. I enjoyed that one pretty well. It had a chocolate pudding with the Oreos and a couple of worms on it, a couple of the gummy worms on there. But the line that I had to go through to get that was absolutely ridiculous. I think I waited like 14 minutes at Pecos Bill just to get a little $5 treat. So that was kind of silly. Hey, I think Lisa's back.
Hi, guys. Sorry.
Not a problem. So that was an aspect of some of the treats that were for sale. They have some pumpkin-themed items. It's a pumpkin waffle at Sleepy Hollow. There's a pumpkin dome at Main Street Bakery and at Gaston's. So there's a couple of those things that you could do as well. So that kind of covers some of the party treats. And also, just so you'll know, on Character Locator, when you click on the menu, Disney World, Halloween Party, then click on the Extras button at the top right, you're going to find that under the menus, you're going to find where it says Party Treats for Sale. So on the Party Treats for Sale, I have all the prices, and yes, all of those are dining plan snacks. So if you use the dining plan, you can use those for snacks.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, but saves you some money.
Seriously. You could just save up all your snack credits for the party.
And then after that, let's move on to the merch. So I went to the merchandise areas, and I found pins and T-shirts and ears. We'll talk about the popcorn bucket here in a moment. But the funniest part was I went to Big Top Treats, and I just wanted to go in and look around, and I didn't realize that one door was one thing and one door was another. And so I went to the left door, and immediately the guy's like, "What pins do you want?" And I was like, I don't know. And then he holds up that card that's on the slide. And I said, I don't know. And he's like, well, do you want any of these pins? I'm like, I don't know. And I looked at it in a couple of minutes, and he's like, well, do you want any? I'm like, no, I don't want any pins. I'm sorry. That's why I just took a photo of that. There were a variety of pins. There were special orange glowy ear things. But the popcorn bucket seemed really popular. It was $13.50. The location that I saw it at was in Frontierland, next to the Westward Ho cart. It's called the Maple Popcorn Cart. I went to the one in Adventureland, and Adventureland didn't have it. But the one in Frontierland did have it for $13.50. People will ask about refills. Does the popcorn bucket come with a refill? Yes, for $1.50. So you pay $13.50 to purchase it up front. It doesn't glow in the dark. It doesn't light up unless you put a glowy thing inside of it. But it's cute. It's got Mickey ears, and it's $13.50.
I am a popcorn bucket hoarder, so I'll
I'm
probably
more
buy
of
it.
a cup hoarder. Like, you know, I have all these Disney
Oh,
cups.
yeah. Maxwell liked your Dino cup.
Oh, yeah, the one that came from Cars Land.
Yeah, that was. Oh, was that a Cars Land one? I thought it was Dino World. Oh, that was cool.
It was Cars Land. They have like 3 different ones in Cars Land. So you can see in this photo there's a variety of different shirts. As a matter of fact, when I first walked in, I saw them selling the shirts and the pins out of a cart right as you're walking in. So soon after you get your bag and your initial starter candy, they're going to offer to sell you that orange t-shirt, which actually looks pretty cool, to be honest, and some of those pins are available for purchase as soon as you walk in. But the place that has the most that's easily accessible is Big Top. So if you go to the Big Top in Storybook, there were fewer people there, and it was easier to shop for the merchandise. Emporium has a lot of the merchandise as well, but there's a lot more people there.
I should mention that the code for it seems like a few people are having a 10% coupon problem. The reason why is you'll see it on the product page, the mouseclass.com. I'll put it here in the chat. So when you go to the product page and you buy it, just put in for the price because it's $0. It's a coupon code, and the coupon code will download to you. You'll get it sent to you. So when you go there, click it, buy it, put $0, and you're good to go. Okay.
$0. But we don't want $0. We want you guys to go ahead and purchase something really cool. Oh, yes. And as it relates to the Pillage with a Pirate, make sure that you're one of the first ones to do that because there obviously are a limited number of parties available. So it's first come, first serve. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to pillage with 87 people at the same time going in different directions. So first come, first serve on that. Awesome. And if you have questions for us, I know a lot of people are using the chat on the side. I appreciate that, but they go by so fast that I can't even see them. So please remember to use the Ask a Question on the bottom left, so that way you can put your question there, and we'll try to get through those here in just a moment because we're kind of almost finished up with our section, and we want to start answering your questions in a minute.
Exactly. All right. So speaking of products, we have this video to show you. This is our friend Doug. His Instagram is Doug Does Disney, and I'll put that here in the chat. Doug put together. What he does is he takes pictures around Walt Disney World, and they are so beautiful that Walt Disney World shares his photos on Instagram. I am not kidding. That's how gorgeous his photos are. And the name of his shop is called mickey'scanvas.com. And he actually set up a shop specifically for you guys with discounted canvas prints around Walt Disney World, and they are amazing. And he discounted them just for you. And I will actually share that with you in the sidebar here in a minute. But I want to show you this because Doug was also at the first party, and he wanted to show you the Magic Band, which the Magic Band is pretty amazing, right, Kenny?
Yes, pretty cool. Glows in the dark.
Yeah. So I don't know why this isn't playing, so we may have to. I'm having a terrible time with technology today, Kenny.
Screen's black.
I know. I'm getting it, guys. Sorry. Maybe not. It may not happen today. Yeah, technology is not my friend today. And I also think it's because we have so many people here, and which is a good thing. But
I think next time we need to get Bootstrap Bob involved.
Yes. Yes. Why wasn't he involved this time? What were we thinking?
I don't know, Lisa. We probably weren't thinking. That's why he's not involved. I mean, come on. So, yeah, I placed a link on the right-hand side. A few people are asking about find that link on the side there.
I will, yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to share this video.
Can you put it back so it's me and you on video only?
Yeah, that's what
or just a black screen.
There we go. All right, now let's get to the questions.
That's better, because then, the magic shots, even though we don't have the photos of it at the moment, I'll share those on my blog for you at another time. They have a variety of magic shots. So you have the hitchhiking ghost as you first enter the park, but you can't do that till after dark. So just come back late in the party. There's one at the flagpole. That's going to be the butlers. There's an animated magic shot, but it also stops and actually puts them in a regular photo as well. Then when you go on Main Street, you're going to find the ballroom dancers, which is another animated shot, and it stops with the ballroom dancers from Haunted Mansion in your shot. Then when you go to the Haunted Mansion, you go through the Fast Pass line because they're not using it for the party. So as you go through the Fast Pass line, you're going to find the hearse and the driver. So that's going to be at the Fast Pass area. And then just outside the entrance on the right, this year they have a new one with a lantern. So they'll have you holding a lantern, making your own spooky face with the Haunted Mansion logo there. They were doing the Rapunzel lantern as well, and the line wasn't very long. Usually that's a pretty long line, but the line for that was fairly short. So you might want to take a look at doing that. And then there's another one, the skeleton. There's dancing skeletons, and that's next to the aerial ride, and it's at the gate right there at the aerial ride. And then a variety of others, Pirates of the Caribbean, there was one for the castle. You can ask at any spot, say, what do you have for magic shots? And they'll put in whatever they have. And some of them have the Iago that sits on your shoulder. So there's a variety there.
All right, so the first question, 47 votes. Does a line for Jack and Sally get shorter later in the night? What's the latest you can line up to meet them?
Okay, so last night I went around, or night before last, I went around and I actually asked the cast members what time their line closed. I said, what time did the line close? Now, understand that it rained 3 times that night, and the last time it rained for quite a while. So that really kind of messed up a lot of the character lines. They were moving some of them to nearby covered areas. Some of them just kind of canceled their meets and then started back later. But the line for Jack and Sally actually closed around 11:15. And the line for the dwarfs closed around 11:15 to 11:30. Moana closed around 11. So I can't promise you until I go back to the next party what the results will be from another one. But the best bet is to get in line as early as you can, following the advice that I posted on Character Locator. You do the things that I tell you to do.
Some people want to know about the lantern shot. They're asking, is the lantern shot still going on during the party? Rapunzel's lantern.
Yeah, I mentioned the Rapunzel lantern shot is still continuing, and it had a short line. But you also can do the Haunted Mansion lantern as well. They're really close to one another.
Okay, perfect. All right, so any new PhotoPass opportunities? We were just talking about that, so I think we covered that. How long does it take to get to security around the 4 p.m. time? Okay,
first you don't want to arrive at 4 o'clock. You want to arrive, if you're going to going to the TTC, you're looking at 3:15. If you're coming by bus, you want to try to get there by 3:30, because you can actually get in around 3:45 to 3:50 is the actual entrance time. And you want to be among the first to Jack and Sally. If you're not using a party ticket only, if you're actually in the park that day, one person can hold a spot in line while the others go get their wristband and then switch. So then you're one of the first people in line for Jack and Sally to show up. So if coming by monorail is TTC monorail, you still want to be at the Magic Kingdom before 3:45.
Got it. Okay, so how many unique characters will there be? We kind of discussed that already.
Unique. Let's see, Jack Sparrow rarely meets. Moana doesn't meet outside the party. Abu, Genie, Jafar, Anastasia and Drizella meet during the day, but they're there. Eric only does Bon Voyage. Trying to think who else. Cruella is unique. The Seven Dwarfs, they're party exclusive. They do both parties, but they're party exclusive. Lotso, Piglet, and Eeyore only appear for Crystal Palace. So that was a few of the ones there. So let me pull up the next question and see what we have. How long did it take? You did that one. What do I suggest to make the most of the party if it rains? Last year the weather shut down the parade, the characters, the rides, and the stage show. That actually happened 2 nights ago as well. We lost one of the stage shows didn't go on because the stage was too wet, and the parade was just a little bit delayed before it started. I mean, if it's raining too much and they don't do the party, all the parades and stuff, ask for a refund and come back. But otherwise, you're going to find a lot of the characters are meeting near where they usually would, but under cover. So look under the covered areas and try to find the characters there. What would a crowd level feel like for a sold-out party? Kind of a trick question, to be honest with you, because the number of people in the park are lower, but everyone wants to meet characters. Okay, so you have to understand that crowd level for parties is pretty much an irrelevant thing nowadays. You're looking at wait times for characters that can max out at 2 hours or more. So even if no one's in the party, everyone still wants to meet unique characters. So make sure that you're prepared to meet the characters like Jack and Sally, Moana, the Seven Dwarfs. Make sure you're using one of the plans that I have on Character Locator so that you can maximize the time that you have there. And if you really want to try to get as much done as possible, the custom plans that I build are a great way for you to do that. Do I recommend first or second Boo to You parade? I recommend the second parade. And the reason that I do that is because fewer people are there. When I was walking the parade route at the first parade, I found that the spots in Frontierland were filled about 45 minutes early, between 35 and 45 minutes. You don't want to be 3 or 4 people behind trying to watch the parade. Your kids want to be up front. They will hopefully get to touch one of the characters as they go by. So I recommend the second parade. If you get there 15, 20 minutes early in Frontierland for the second parade, you're not fighting anyone for a spot. Hey, you're back.
I'm back, Kenny. I'm sorry. I know. I'm trying to answer questions, typing things in, so I think the multitasking is causing me issues. So I'm not going to touch the computer the rest of this time.
Stop multitasking.
No more, I promise. Okay, so I was listening, but I could hear you the whole time, and I did have a question about the rain, because I know that is a question some people have, and it did rain. Was the second parade kind of abridged?
No, the second parade finally did go off. They just delayed it a few minutes.
Oh,
they did kick it off because of the rain was still kind of light. So they went ahead and did it. A lot of times the Headless Horseman either won't go or he'll walk very slowly. They've already slowed him down to a trot, but he may walk really slowly in the rain because one year he actually fell. The horse fell. Coming across the bridge. Yeah, so that was not good. But the horse was okay, and the rider was okay. But yeah, they try to take it as carefully as they can. I mean, you're dealing with security issues, safety issues, and honestly, you're dealing with cost.
Wow, we had someone buy a black package. I'm seeing it here, and I'm not touching to respond. I'm going to voice respond because I don't want to go off the screen. Thank you so much for purchasing, and what's going to happen is Kenny is going to message you on the side, and you guys can figure out the date, and as we promised in the fine print, you will get your money back if for some reason you guys cannot coordinate.
So hopefully everything works out really well so that we can get everyone.
Woohoo!
The black package does include me buying my own ticket, okay? So you're not also buying my ticket. So that's included in the package.
Right, exactly. Yes.
All right, so who has the longest lines? My experience was Jack and Sally, the Dwarfs, and Moana. Who's who?
Yes, black package is one.
That one's kind of easy. Like, it could have been Jack and Sally. It could have been the Dwarfs. It depends on when you went. Moana was really long. I mean, people got in line at 5 o'clock and they didn't meet her till 6:45. So that's an hour 15. I mean, an hour 45 before they actually met her. So, there was a pretty good, considerable amount of time that was invested in those meets. Most of the other meets are in the 30-minute or less range, somewhere there. So they try to keep them moving as fast as they can. But there's just a lot of people that want to meet a few characters because there's just, honestly, this is my rant, but there's just not enough really great characters. We keep getting the same character year after year after year after year, and it would be awesome if they would bring out some of those really dynamic villains because it would divide up more people. If we had Maleficent somewhere and we had the Snow Queen like we used to and had, the meets that they used to do at the castle, that drew away people from some of the other meets and it made it easier to find as many as possible.
Another thing is we should mention that right now in Character Locator, the times for the parade and fireworks will change as we approach daylight savings time. We should mention that because I see some people sharing the times for the parades.
I adjust the times as needed. Everything is always updated on a weekly basis and as an as needed basis. But I'll also, for the benefit of everyone, I'll go ahead and write in the times for you at the top for when they change in October for some of the events, because I know like the Hocus Pocus show will change their show times. I'll write those in there so that way when you're building your plan you can see that easily. That might help some of you guys. Someone asked if the snacks were on the dining plan. We answered that earlier, and yes.
Yes, they are.
Yep. Does the dwarfs line taper off? It does at some parties. It did not last night. They closed the line early. One of my followers on Twitter was really hurt and upset because he didn't get to meet the dwarfs. He went there just a few minutes left in the party and didn't get in. I was there at 11:30. The line was already closed. So it's important. You have to make your priorities. You can't do everything. It's just not possible. Mm-hmm. Even if I spend my whole night just meeting characters, I still have to choose which characters to meet because some of them will kind of fall aside. Are there any surprise villains? No, there were no surprises at the first party. Everything that I had already told you would happen happened. The only thing that surprised me was that Tinkerbell continued meeting, but when I went back and checked on her around the time of the first parade, for some reason she was closed. So she appeared for a while. They closed her line. I don't know if they ever reopened it because I can't cover everywhere at the same time, but I didn't. That was kind of odd, so I'm going to check again the next time. All right. Do adults trick or treat, and what kind of bags are handed out? So, yes, adults do trick or treat. I did trick or treat. 8 pounds of candy, 180 pieces. Okay, so here's the actual bag. I'll hold it real still for you. Okay, so on that side of the bag is Lightning McQueen from Cars. And then on the other side of the bag, real still, Olaf's Frozen Adventure. And it has Olaf and Sven, the reindeers on there. So
last year it had Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah, they change them up based on the movies that are out. And look, this is how much candy is still in my bag, and I divided it up by 4 people last night. So yeah, I had a lot of candy. I had a backpack. If you're wondering, like, what should I do with all this candy? Because I was carrying around with my camera gear and the bag of candy. I was carrying around almost 14 pounds of stuff by the end of the night. My back was hurting. That's how much weight. It's funny because I lost that much weight, and I was carrying it around going, man, this is heavy. I'm like, you don't know what it does to your body, I guess. But so I had that backpack. I filled the backpack with candy. If you have a stroller, that's perfect. If you have one of those, we used to have a stroller that had a holding area underneath it, and we would just just kept filling that thing up all night long.
And dump it before you trick or treat because they'll fill it up for you. So like if they see you have too much candy, and sometimes they'll like dump it and then go back. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. You have to keep it about half filled, so you don't look like you're total candy poverty. You know. If you're in candy poverty, then they'll give you 3 pieces. But if you're about half filled, they would kind of want to feel like they want to top that thing off for you.
Poverty, I love it. Yes. Go ahead. I'm not scrolling through the questions anymore, so I'm leaving that part up to you. I'm just watching the chat and interjecting every once in a while for what people are saying. You don't have to bring your own bag. I found that those bags are way more than enough because, like we were just talking about, when you dump it and you want to act like candy poverty, yeah, those bags are more than enough. And, I brought my own bags one time, and then I found we didn't even use them. We just shove them in the stroller. It's just an extra thing to carry.
Yes, as it relates to whether you should trick or treat later in the party, I wouldn't even start gathering candy until 9 o'clock. It's not even worth your time. I honestly spent 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes in line for candy just to see what had happened, and I would end up with 3 pieces of candy. That was so disappointing. So
I do have something to say about that because someone asked about Tomorrowland, right? And they were like, someone texted on the side, and they said, Tomorrowland, is it going to be kind of dead? Well, I'll tell you, my plan last year for one of the party nights was to start in Tomorrowland. And I remember texting Kenny and saying, my whole night is ruined because my plan was to start here. And he's like, just enjoy yourself, have fun. He's like, go do that. So I listened to him. But my point is that Tomorrowland, the lines get really long. And like Kenny's saying, before 9 o'clock, there's no point in lining up because the first thing people do is run to candy lines. I guess we all just want candy. But the starter bags look really heavy this year, so I don't think there's going to be a high need.
I'm typing it in. So yeah, don't do the party stuff, the candy stuff early, or even the snacks. The snacks have long lines, so don't bother with that stuff early in the party. Your focus at the party early on for the first 2 or 3 hours should be 100% on characters. You want to get all your priority characters, especially since they moved the time of the parade back. Now there's even more people in character lines. They used to go and sit on Main Street for an hour and a half. Well, now they're out meeting characters for 3 hours. So that seems to affect that. Don't run after candy early. It'll be there. And like I told you, like the one guy at Carousel of Progress, I just said, hey, you know, would you top it off? And he's like, hey, let me top it off for you. So if you're nice to cast members, they're oftentimes nice to you. And
Yes.
especially late in the party. They kind of feel like, well, you didn't get any candy, let me help you.
Kenny, do they sell the poison apple cup?
No, I didn't see that anywhere. I only saw the Halloween popcorn bucket. Oh, let me tell you this as it relates to the Halloween popcorn bucket. I was told by the cast members that it will switch to an Oogie Boogie themed popcorn bucket in October. So if you're going in October, you'll get the Oogie Boogie.
I'm so excited for an Oogie Boogie popcorn bucket.
Someone asked about the parade. As I mentioned before, if you're going to do the first parade, you're looking at 45 to 60 minutes early. If you're going to do the second parade, 20 to 30 minutes early. The easiest place to do the parade is Frontierland. The most difficult place is Main Street. Main Street takes longer. You're going to sit there for an additional half hour waiting on the parade to arrive. So
I love Main Street, though.
it's beautiful. You have all the projections and the music.
And the Creeper crew comes out. Was it Creeper or Crepa?
Well, now they're called the Party Patrol.
Oh, the Party Patrol.
Nick and Judy's Party Patrol is what they call it.
Yeah, that's fun for the kids.
And
And they
that's
give them lollipops and stuff.
not on any of Disney's information. So that's one of those things that's also stuck in Character Locator for you to throw into your plan. So,
Yep.
how long was Eric and Ariel's line? I never saw it too long, maybe 25 minutes at the most, 15 to 25. Fast pass strategy. Someone asked about fast passing between 4 and 7. Okay, so if you're going to fast pass something, the best thing to do is to put one person in a character line, like Jack and Sally, Moana, or the Dwarfs. The other parent takes the kids and goes and plays with them. But I used to be the guy holding down the line while my wife would take my kids on Dumbo and Barnstormer and Winnie the Pooh and things like that to keep them busy because it's boring. I mean, who wants to sit in line for 2 hours as a child? So
Right.
the cast members are very accommodating for you to return to the line. They understand.
Oh, I make them wait, Kenny. I make them sweat it out.
The evil queen now, huh? Okay. we did.
Just
We,
like for Avatar. Yeah,
we
that was
divide and conquer. If
Yeah.
if these characters are not a priority to you, you can use your fast passes as you wish. But if Jack and Sally, Moana, or Seven Dwarfs are important to you,
Yeah.
fast passes are not
And
important.
Jack and Sally are really fun with the kids. That stuff's fun.
The line for Moana was, a solid 90 minutes, but probably longer at times. The shortest period that I saw was maybe an hour. It just depends on what time you arrive. I put some tips under her listing on Character Locator, so you'll know what I observed. And I'm going to go back to other parties and continue making observations. So, I mean, you understand that when you're purchasing something from me, you're investing in me, and that's how I see it. I don't want to have information that doesn't work for you. So,
I mean, you guys, seriously, I've been working with Kenny now for a year, and when we first got together and we first met, I obviously was a user of his product and loved it, just like all of you. And then I started, we started working together for real, and I'm like, holy cow, the amount of hours you pour into this stuff is insane now. Because now I'm doing things on my end that are, obviously taking many hours, and then it's a lot of work. But it's quality is the thing. Not only is it a lot of work, but it's quality. Like, serious.
thousands of hours. And now we're not only doing Disney World, we also have extended to Disneyland. I'll attend that first party out there. I'll report back for you guys and get you quality information. Someone's asking about Nick and Judy. They do not do a meet and greet at the Halloween party. They only appear in the Party Patrol on Main Street only. Okay? So only on Main Street, only for the Party Patrol.
Where's the best place to stand for Hocus Pocus? In your opinion. I have my opinion, but you have your
You are option one really close to the stage. Option two is actually probably better if you have kids. Move back closer to the Walt statue. You're going to see the full stage. It has a rise to it, so you're going to pulling away from the stage. You're going to actually get a better view. So
I like it against the wall, like in like up against like that wall to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I park the double stroller right there against the wall, and then or sometimes we go up right to the line. I don't know.
I'm just saying, if you want to go like that front on center view, just move back. If you don't want to be jammed with people.
You will get jammed though. You're right, Kenny. They'll get jammed. You will after the show.
Yeah, it's pretty bad there.
It takes a while to get out, yeah.
Do we need to be front and center for the fireworks show and projections? My tip is always the same for fireworks. You're going to want to stand between Casey Corner and the Walt statue. And there's a rise in the road.
I hear it all the time, guys. I hear it all the time.
All the time. It's always the same. The other option is one of the plaza viewing areas. Make sure you kind of look and make sure you're not looking at a tree. I mean, some people were literally standing behind a tree last night, so that's not a view I want. I stood on Main Street. I walked up 10, 15 minutes early. There was plenty of space for me, and I came across the pathway from Tomorrowland at Casey Corner, and they had a tape line on the ground. I just turned right. I could have easily fit in a family of 8 in that space. So there was plenty of space there. But another thing to judge for me is I look for little kids and dads. So if I see a dad with little kids, I don't want to stand behind him. He's going to stick Junior on his shoulders. So I always have my kids on my hip, so my kids' heads were at the same level as me. But some people like to throw them on the shoulders.
Yep. Well, there is also the option to have them when they're up there, which is what we do sometimes, and we have them hunch to the level.
We get to your height.
Yeah.
iPads and cameras. Yeah, Cooper's dad. That cracks me up. Like, there's so many people. When I was left, and I was like, okay, I think I'll live stream. Well, I couldn't get a good connection. Verizon used to be terrific in the parks, but now it's awful, so I couldn't get a decent connection. And then when I put the phone away, I stood there and go, wow, this is so much nicer without the video camera, without the phone, just to enjoy it, just to take it in and experience it without having to stare through some camera or iPad. And then most people are going to take that thing home, and then they're going to show someone, and they're like, oh, what a crappy video. I mean, it's just coming off your cell phone with the...
And never go back and review it, ever.
Ever. You're not using a big camera here, so if you're not filming professionally, your video is probably not very good.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, well, that's your Doug, because Doug takes really great photos.
Oh, yeah, I use Doug's photos. Wow, his are phenomenal.
Yep, Doug does Disney on Instagram. Mickey's Canvas, which I should share his shop on the side, but I'm afraid to type.
You keep crashing.
I will email all of you at the end the links to everything you need, so no worries there.
We're going to have to take up an offering for Lisa to get a stronger computer or something, huh?
Seriously, I mean, really.
I get an amen.
All right, what are the more questions?
All right, so let's see. We already did that with that one. Plan tactics. I think we mentioned earlier, sold out night versus not sold out night. There's really not a whole lot of difference because the character lines are always long. Slight difference in wait times for rides. I didn't really review that. Let me give it a quick overview before we begin to wrap up here. For wait times, the posted wait time for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was about 80 minutes at 6:30 p.m. At 7 p.m. it was around 25. It stayed around 25 to 30 most of the night. It had a drop around the time of the fireworks, and then right next to closing it was walk-on. I literally walked on Peter Pan and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train between 11:30 and 12 with no line. There was nobody there.
That's fun.
That was my experience. Yours could vary. Big Thunder Mountain, walk on all night. Buzz only had a wait time for about the first half hour of the party. Haunted Mansion tended to be running around 20 minutes, somewhere in that range, which goes by pretty fast for Mansion. Peter Pan was in the half-hour range most of the night. Splash Mountain was a walk-on. the majority of the night, but I think they had some kind of slowdown, so it bumped up to about 20 at one point. Space Mountain was the 10 to 15 range almost all night after 7:30. Winnie the Pooh was pretty much a walk-on. Tomorrowland Speedway around 9 o'clock. It popped back up around a half an hour. The meet and greets for Rapunzel and Cinderella averaged around 10, 15, 20 minutes most of the night, but then there was this really weird pop where they put 90 minutes on there. I don't know why. It went from 15 to 90 to 10. Maybe tell everyone don't come, but Mickey Mouse, he was best to meet between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. After 10, his line went really long, and before that, people were still being held over from earlier in the day. So that kind of gives you a little overview of what wait times were like. When I do a blog post later, I'll drop all those on there. Someone asked if the Descendants are in the parade. No, the Descendants have nothing to do with the party. Anything else, Lisa?
Let's see. I'm afraid.
First question, Bethany just asked how long the lines for the magic shots. Most of the time, I probably waited about 10 minutes for the magic shots throughout the night. A couple of times, I just walked up. The Headless Horseman around 10:30, somewhere in that range. As I went out front after the fireworks were over, there was no line. So I didn't wait at all for the Headless Horseman.
Oh, I love the Headless Horseman. Okay, so there are some kid questions in here that I can quickly answer. So we've been going for a while. My kids are now 5 and 6. And so we've been going for the last few years, and I see here, is it good for a 2 and a 5-year-old who stay up late anyways? And I say yes. The double stroller is your best friend. The kids can sleep in the stroller. We've met Kenny at the DVC party nights even where we've stayed through midnight, and the kids just crash out in the stroller, and then my husband and I just go around enjoying ourselves while they're asleep. You know, yeah, I could actually shop in the shops when they're asleep in the stroller, so that's a good time to get your shopping in. The party's really fun. I used to think they would be too scared, and one of my best tips is to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. I used to think they'd be too afraid of that movie, and to be honest, they love it. And they love villains, and the Oogie Boogie's their favorite character, so it's crazy. But it's really fun for kids. If you do go, I do recommend, like, for the kids, make sure if you go like in October time to bring a little blanket for the strollers, because it gets a little cooler at night.
But not right now.
Not right now. Right now it's pretty hot, but October it will at night get cooler.
Someone asked if the character is signed. You'll find that information is already listed for every character on Character Locator. You don't have to wonder. Just when you subscribe, you'll find it. You just click on a character. You're going to find which characters do or do not sign. It's listed for you already. Someone asked about the dessert party. I think it's a waste of time because you have to arrive well before the dessert party. You have to do the dessert party. Then you're going to do the fireworks. And they do have reserved seating this year for the parade. They just don't tell you. So make sure that if you're going to use that dessert party, go ahead and get your reserved spot in Town Square using your little credential thing that you wear. But I've done it before. I found it as a waste of time because I'm going to eat snacks and get candy.
Yeah, and then
meet characters while you're standing there doing nothing. Even
the dining reservation, I'm seeing a lot of quotes on dining reservations during the party. Kenny and I agree on this, not to do dining reservations during the party.
No, you're just spending additional money. So you already invested $400 in the party. Now you're going to invest another $200 in eating.
Yes.
I mean, that maybe someone has the extra $200 they want to spend. That's fine. I'm not telling you can't or shouldn't. I mean, someone got mad at me once because I told them the tent that they set up in Tomorrowland was a waste of money, and they thought it was amazing. So it's their judgment. It's their money. I'm not going to tell you how to spend yours. So.
I mean, it's not even about the money, but it's about the experience of the party. That's why we're all there, and you're going to miss out on so much because you're spending time eating. That's
the point. I'm just saying that I gave the cost. I didn't want people to think that because I said it costs this, I can't do it. They can, but it's just not a wise use of your time. Is there anything special on Halloween night? No. It's exactly the same. Nothing different.
No Dr. Was it Fancier?
Facilier. No, you'll see. Just go to Character Locator, click Menu, Disney World, Halloween Party. All the characters are already there. So you don't have to worry with what characters where they located, how long are the lines. things like that.
No, mobile ordering wasn't working, right, Kenny? We found out mobile order.
It didn't work for me. I tried it at Pecos Bill and it didn't come up. It said something about ordering another time or something. Give me a screenshot.
Yeah, and I even tried it from, St. Petersburg, but I don't know if does mobile ordering come up if you're not on site? It's a question.
Yes, I could order from home, but I'm not supposed to complete the order until I'm actually there. But
Gotcha.
I could sort of almost, start the process, but it's not recommended. Costume advice, don't wear anything heavy. It's really hot in Florida. It was so humid. My clothes were soaked, not from rain, but from sweat. It was so humid.
It's hot, yeah.
Wear light costumes. You can't wear anything that blocks your face. So your face has to be visible to the cast. Casts can be a little forgiving with children wearing a Boba Fett or a Darth Vader. They understand they're little kids. But if an adult is wearing something that blocks their face, they're going to ask you to remove it.
Someone said the party is listed as ending at 11 in October.
No, that's incorrect. It ends at midnight. Always. Every party is always technically starts at 7 and ends at midnight. They let you in at 3:45 to 4 o'clock. And some of the characters will begin meeting before 7 p.m. only for people wearing their Halloween party wristband. If you're not wearing the wristband, you don't get in.
Someone said you please share, Kim York said please share the Emporium closes at party close. You can't get in after 12 a.m. Is that right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Say it again.
So she's saying that the Emporium closes when the party closes and that you can't get in after midnight.
It was open last night. It was open after 12:20.
Yeah, because the Christmas party and Halloween party last year, it was open.
That was one of the only places that was open. The ice cream shop was still open, and the Emporium was still open when I left.
The bakery closes. On Main Street, does the bakery close?
I didn't notice. It may have still been open.
Yeah.
Starbucks always has a crazy long line, though.
Yeah, and guys, remember, we do have products for sale, and that's going to be on mouseclass.com/order. So we have touring plans by Kenny the Pirate, character locator subscriptions and renewals, as well as pillage with a pirate during your Halloween party, and that is a private, just with Kenny, and you can work that out. Mouse to Your House just shared it. Thank you. And Mouse to Your House has a great coupon on there for everyone who came today. 10% off an order delivered right to your Disney hotel room with free delivery. So that's a big deal. Their packages are great, and they have these Rice Krispie treat pops. They're so good. So you get Halloween themed out.
Ooh.
All right, so
I was false about the Emporium, but I can only tell you my experience. I don't know what door you went to, where you were trying to enter, whatever. I'm not going to argue with your experience. I can only tell you that whenever I was leaving the park after the 12:20 point, the door for the Emporium on Main Street on the right-hand side, not the last door, but the first door that you come to after Casey Corner was open. So, that's all I can say that night. I don't work there, so I can't tell you whether or not someone told you could or could not enter.
And remember, in character locator, there'll be a character sign. If they character sign, if they don't sign, all the details of characters, including character interaction tips. So remember that too in character locator. There's so much information in there, so much more than there's ever been. I'm amazed, Kenny. You really do great.
I mean, if you make sure you use all the tabs, okay? So once you've gone to menu, Disney World, Halloween Party, there are tabs at the top of the screen. Characters, shows, rides, menus, extra. Extra menu has PhotoPass. Every PhotoPass location, I need to add the Rapunzel lantern. I'll do that tonight. It has all the PhotoPass locations. It has every trick-or-treat stop location. You can easily add everything that's inside that to a touring plan. So if you're planning to be in Adventureland, drop all your Adventureland stuff that goes with that there. The party treats for sale, they're in there. Every restaurant that's actually open, every ride that's really open, they're all
open, right?
It's really open, There's nothing in there that isn't right.
That's a great point because, you'll go to My Disney Experience and it'll show all the restaurants and you think they're open, but then they're not. So, because they close some of them during the party.
Well, I'll give you some practical examples of things that never appeared on My Disney Experience during the first party. Moana never appeared. Jack and Sally never appeared. The Seven Dwarfs never appeared. The schedule for Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, and Friends said it would be constant from 7 to 11, but it wasn't. They had set meets that were being broken up by them transferring in and off stage, so they had actual set times. So there were a lot of things that were incorrect about that. I'm not telling you not to use it. I use it all the time for FastPass. I use it for booking dining. I'm just saying that there was a lot there resource-wise that wouldn't have helped me. And nothing came onto that application until after 6 o'clock at night. So if you're going to make your plan at 6 p.m. to begin a party at 7, have a great time. But I really think that the time that I've invested in, my brother and I have invested in Character Locator is worth it.
Right, and then Product Purple is the one that you want if you want Kenny to create your own personal Halloween plan. Your own personalized park plan in Character Locator. You tap it after you're finished, it drops to the bottom, and the next thing for you to do comes up. It's amazing. So, and that's all personalized to what you want to do that night. And that's the Product Purple that we have at themouseclass.com/order.
And Jamie wants to remind everyone, Character Locator is, she says, not an app. It's not a download. That's what I say. Right. It is an application, but it's not a download. You can easily just make a little icon for your screen. It'll function exactly the same way. And it saves you money. Because one of the reasons people ask us, why is it not a download? Because Android and iPhone charge 30%. So if we build those apps, we're going to have to charge you 30% more just to create a download for something that you can create an icon for. It works the same way. And it's super fast.
Yep. Can you think of anything else?
Okay, anybody else? I don't know, some people are probably already gone, but if there's anybody left that has a question, I'll try to catch them. How does the trick-or-treating work for kids with allergies? You just collect those little teal coins and you get a teal bag, and then you stop by either Heritage House or Town Square Theater, and they'll fill it up with allergy-free stuff. You choose what you want from their selection. You're welcome, Veronica. Thanks, Jamie.
All right, guys. What do you think, Kenny? Do you think we still have time for a few more?
I'm just maybe 2 minutes. We'll go 2 more minutes. I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions we might not have. Halloween versus Christmas, totally different because the character selections are different. The entertainment's different. To me, Christmas is much more heavy in entertainment, less in character meets.
All right, so just to summarize, when you go to mouseclass.com/order, product orange, you're going to get the workbook and guide for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. These are tips of what to bring before you leave your house, when you get to the party. Before you leave the party, don't forget XYZ. Before you leave your hotel room, don't forget XYZ. A lot of details in there that we compiled together, as well as Character Locator subscription and or renewal for 1 year. That's product orange. Product purple is the workbook, along with Character Locator subscription or renewal, and a personalized party plan by Kenny the Pirate, and he will create your personalized touring plan in Character Locator so that you can have it on your phone while you're going through the party and just tap when you're done the one activity and it falls to the bottom, and then the next activity comes to the top. So he tells you where to go, what time to do it, and as Kenny likes to say, his touring plans are always at a walkable pace, which is very true. You're not running around going crazy. The other thing is that someone did ask the difference between the Halloween party and the Christmas party. The Halloween party is definitely a little more chaotic, a little more to do. A touring plan, if you're ever going to decide to buy a touring plan, this is the time to do it because there's so much going on. And like I said, last year I had a plan. I created it myself in Character Locator. And I still found myself like texting Kenny because I'm like, I have no idea. You know, so having a personalized plan by him and having him do it and oversee it is such a help, and it's one less thing you even have to think about. You just show up, you do what he says, and that's it. So that's with product purple. And then product black is our superior product. Comes with everything we mentioned: the workbook, locator, subscription or renewal for a year, as well as a personalized touring plan, and you get to pillage the party with Kenny the Pirate. All of these come with the coupon for Mouse to Your House, the 10% off with the free delivery. Doug Does Disney, also known as Mickey's Canvas, has set up a personalized shop where you can go and buy canvases. And you can get these canvases at a discount. He has canvases and prints. They're amazing. And like I said, his photos are so amazing that Disney actually shares his photos on Instagram. Disney. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah. So you'll want to check out that shop. I will send you the link in the email that you will receive after once we come off of the live. Because again, I don't want to touch my computer because you won't see me anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go through the chat and finish up with anybody that wants to chat. We'll go offline for everyone for this video goes. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you spending the last 80 minutes with us. I know we had some tech glitches. We're still learning this stuff. We're not tech experts, but we're learning, and we try to get better every time we do these things. But we do appreciate your 80 minutes of time that you spent with us. I hope there was some information that could help you. If I didn't help you, and it's not on Character Locator, it probably doesn't exist. So I think that's the best we can do. Thank you, Lisa, for hosting as well.
Thanks, guys. See you later.